I think it's 3 years from now?
No, hopefully if we have our package, we're hoping to have our package into you, with, like I said, in the next couple of weeks between McGowan Engineering, who's our civil engineer, and the Montoro Group. Hopefully have our package into the township in, say, the next 2 to 3 weeks. From what Gil's explained to me, then it has to go to the various agencies and be deemed complete, and hopefully be in front of the board in January formally, you know, if we can get on that agenda. And hopefully get approvals, and in 3 to 4 months be in the ground. So hopefully by, I would say, June of '07, we would hope May or June of '07.
Will it start knocking them down or start building?
Both. Start knocking them down and start building if you know, if we can do it. That's the intention. We have every intention of going forward and doing the project.
Okay, I heard those words before, no offense.
For over 2 years.
Yeah, I understand that.
And the original site plan application was 2001.
Yes.
So you should keep in mind, and my memory is that the parking was maxed out for the original site plan application. So I don't understand where there's going to be any parking available.
Yeah, I believe on the original plan that was approved or that currently exists, there's either 23 or 24 spots there. The new design is going to have 36 spots. So it's a more efficient use of the space of the site. From what I understand,
Listen, I just think you ought to realize that I think the planning board is in, at least from my point of view, is, you know, I know you're going to have to come back for a variance for the parking.
yes.
You should be very careful about what you ask for in terms of that.
Okay.
Keep in mind that there's been a huge delay in this original project.
Yes.
That was, I think, a big problem. From my own personal point of view, I think that the aesthetics of these large buildings are not something we want.
Mm-hmm.
They're too large scale, and that I think main streets and small towns like ours are characterized by small buildings, individual kind of aesthetics, not these large conglomerate lots. We're seeing one possibly at Bifus.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing one at New Market. And I think that the tendency to take these lots and combine them into very large buildings is not a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Also would recommend that you make sure you contact Main Street and
Yes.
get your images to Main Street as
Sure.
quickly as you can.
Yeah.
I mean, you're here for informal feedback. I think that's the reason you got us here, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that's my own personal feedback, that I think that everything you should do in terms of the design of this building should be to break down the scale of this building.
Okay.
That it's too big for the village.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're only going, I guess you're going in terms of the development, in terms of normal height, not asking for a height variance.
No. No.
In
Yeah.
terms of the scale of it, and I think the planning board's going to be hard pressed to look at parking variance at this point.
Carried through. So a lot of the elements most of the elements that were in the prior application are carried through. What I think makes this application more interesting than the prior applications now, we have the corner. Before it was a building that was in between, we'll say, kind of a rundown building on the corner, and then between other rundown buildings on the block, we kind of put this nice building. Now we're able to wrap the corner, so when you come into South Orange and you come down, this will be the first thing you see.